Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world, and a huge welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session, which will focus on studying in Italy with Libera University based in Rome. Now, before I hand you over to Sara, just a quick insight into what today will cover. We will have a presentation directly from them. We'll have an opportunity for you to win a £500 bursary. For all of you that are interested in finding out additional ways of helping funding, there will be a section towards the end. Details of any upcoming Postgrad Insights, and we'll also have a Q&A at the end of the presentation from Louise themselves. Now, without wasting any more of your time, I'd like to hand you over to Sara. Sara works in the international division at the university. Sara, I'd like to hand over to you, and I'll see you towards the end for a live Q&A.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today. I will start by sharing my screen, and then we can start. So thank you once again for your presence here today. As Gareth already mentioned, my name is Sara, and I work at the International Orientation of Lewis University. Who is Lewis? Lewis is a top private university located in Rome and specializing in social sciences. We are a global university in a global capital city. Lewis University has a privileged partnership with Confindustria, which is the Italian Confederation for the entrepreneurship and the companies working in the country. But also we have a very strong bond with the legal practice, the governmental institution, and the civil society. We do have an innovative educational model that we are always very proud to share. Because it allows us to foster the students' intellectual curiosity and encourage their independent and critical thinking. We always like to keep ourselves updated and up to date with the world challenges. Therefore, we always try to transmit this kind of approach to our students as well. So they are always encouraged to connect with their professors, with their peers, in order to learn how to achieve their goals and face their challenges. It is always important for our students to learn a little bit about the universities, also in terms of rankings. This is a little bit overview of Lewis' positioning in the world. Let's start by the national level. We are #1 in Italy among the private universities, according to Il Sole 24 Ore. This is a finance journal, which is also specialized in rankings in different sectors of business and education. Then we move to the international audience, and we can see that we are in the top 25 universities in the world for the Department of Political Science, according to the QS World University Rankings, and in the top 100 universities for the social sciences. Moving forward, we have also the EQUIS certification. This is an accreditation which is kind of hard to get because it is an indicator of the quality of teaching and the quality of the services offered to the students. The top tier in the U multi-rank 2018 related to the internationalization of our courses and the international mobility. And last but not least, the Financial Times rankings, where we gained more than 20 positions. Now we are 53rd in the world and first in the world for the career progression. Some numbers to give you an idea of what Lewis does and what are the opportunities for our students. Being a social sciences universities, of course, we focus on 4 main areas. The first one is the area of business and management. Then we have economics and finance. Then we have political science and law. It is worth to mention that the institution is fully bilingual. Therefore, the students do not need to learn Italian in order to study at Lewis University, as most of our courses are taught in English for Italian students too. Talking about the students, we have almost 10,000 of them. And the number that probably we are more proud of is the diversity indicator. We have 88 different nationalities in our campus. This means that we have students from all over the world, not only from European countries, but also from the Americas, Africa, and Asia and Oceania as well. So clearly, for those interested in coming to Rome, coming to Lewis, you are always welcome. The more, the merrier, as they say. The 89% of the students graduate on time, and the 93% of them are up to date with the exam schedule. How is this made possible? Thanks to the professor-student ratio. In fact, as you can see, we have one professor every 6 students, which is strongly different from the national level of 1 in 17. Why? This is because we always try to give our students the best experience possible and all the attention that they deserve. So starting from the lectures during the classes, basically they have the space and the time to make their questions. If they have any problems, our professors are always there to listen to them. And of course, this particular attention and care that we'd like to give them translates into a non-existent abandonment rate, meaning that all the students that enroll at Lewis then graduate, and most of them do it on time. Let's take a look at the internationalization aspect of our university. Clearly, we'd like to give to our students the possibility of bringing their experience further. So we like to give them the opportunity to study abroad while they are here. To do so, they are able to choose between 58 double degree programs and structured exchanges with our partners in the world. This means that they can already have everything ready when choosing the double degree. So they do not need to choose which exams to take in the hosting universities. Everything is already settled. Otherwise, they can choose from more than 300 agreements with the universities in 57 countries. In this case, they can actually have more flexibility in the choice of the subjects that they would like to take abroad. In any case, both of the experiences are strongly recommended in order to like have something more from their university experience. Since we always try to transmit to our student the idea of being international, of being able to move around the world, we are very proud to say that that a lot of our alumni, actually 54,000 of them, are working and living worldwide. And the percentage of employed alumni a year after graduation is it of the 95%, thanks to the very good efforts of our university in educating them, but also of our career services. Let's take a look at the services offered to our students. Being a private university, we can ensure that the students are followed in any step of their university experience. So we start by helping them with their visas and residence permits. We give assistance to non-EU students who need to apply for visas or residence permits. We have a dedicated office, which is the welcome desk, that organizes special sessions, informative sessions, guidance, and is always available to help the students with the required documentation. Then it is worth to talk about the housing service. Clearly, for international students, it is always a big deal to move to another country, to another city. So it is our care to make their experience seamless. To find their new housing solution, they have 2 options. Option number 1 is to rent a room in our dorms, which in some cases is included with the scholarship. Option number 2 is to use our internal real estate agency that helps them finding the accommodation for their needs. Clearly, this service is free of charge for the Lewis students. In any case, we always do our best to help the students finding exactly what they need. Moving forward, we also offer Italian language courses. They are not mandatory, but they are free of charge, and they are always recommended in order to be able to facilitate everyday communication and be able to have a complete experience in Italy, also moving through the language aspect. Then we also have a service, a tutoring service, more focused on the didactical point of view. This is ideal for those students who would like to have some advice regarding the choice of their exams, or for those who might have some troubles in passing an exam. We have academic tutors, which organize a study group and a specific service called the academic gym. Of course, the service too is free of charge. Then let's move to the general package of services, like the canteen, which is open every day, both at lunch and dinner. For those students who might have special needs in terms of food, there is no problem at all. We just need to know in order to prepare the meal which respects your needs. For those students who drive, we have a car sharing service which is reserved to the Lewis students, faculty, and staff. It is made of electric cars, so is 100% sustainable, and you can use the car as long as you need it. The only thing that you need to remember is that you need to bring it back to our campus. If you need the car for more than one day, you just can book as long as you need it, and then bring it back to the campus once you're finished. And then we move forward to the Buddy and Tandem program. This is a peer-to-peer initiative to help the international students integrate in the new environment and enroll more in general. And last but not least, the counseling, the psychological counseling for those students who might need to have a professional help. We also have a cultural shock related service. So as you see, any aspect of the student life is covered. And of course, we always try to investigate it to understand whether we can do something more. Let's take a look at the campuses of Lewis University. Um, we have 3 main campuses. One is for the Department of Economics, Business, and Management. One is for the Department of Law, and the other one is the House of the Rector and General Management Office. Any of the campuses are open for the students every day until 9 p.m. So the students can just access the campus and use any room, any study room to study or just to hang out with their peers. Choosing Lewis University. Let's take a look at our graduate programs. As you can see, the list of our programs is pretty long, it's pretty big and rich. This is our care in order to give the students the possibility of finding the course that matches their interest. They are divided into areas of interest. Generally speaking, all the master's courses have the duration of 2 years, and they give 120 ECTS or credits. So we have the area of business and economics, which is particularly rich. We have the more traditional courses like economics and finance or management, but we also have interdisciplinary courses like data science and management, global management and politics, and so on. As you can see, for any course, it is possible to choose from a curriculum. Or alternatively, if you want to personalize your study plan, this is always possible, and you can actually choose the electives that are more interesting for you. Moving to the area of law and politics, as you can see, the list is pretty rich here as well. And then we also have two digital master's degree program, which are the courses in marketing and strategic management, which are tailored for those students who cannot ensure to have a full presence on campus or are busy with personal or professional aspects, and therefore would like to have a more flexible approach. This is something that we created last year after seeing the pandemic challenges. So it is just for you to know that any of your needs will be absolutely respected at Lewis University. This is a QR code which will lead you to the page of our graduate programs. And for each course, you will be able to see in detail which subjects will be taught and to have a look at the professors, at the activities, and of course, the outcomes of our courses in terms of professional career. We also have summer university programs. These are dedicated to the graduate students. These are programs that we usually hold in the month of June and July. These courses will give you 4 credits per week attended. And as you can see, we maintained our social sciences tradition here as well. So you will be able to choose any of these courses between international management and made in Italy. Then we have the summer university program in political science, in finance, digital platform, and sport management. What is special about the summer university programs is the kind of activities that you will do, because they will be very practice oriented. So you will be able to meet with our professors and faculty, but also with business experts. And in the case of the International Management Summer University program, you will be able to move around Italy and visit some of the best made in Italy brands that we have in the country. This is a QR code that will give you, that will lead you to the Summer University program page. And of course, in case you might be interested, don't hesitate to contact us. Let's move to the selection process. The students who can apply, those who either already have a bachelor's degree, either who will obtain the bachelor's degree by the 20th of July 2023. Please note that for those students who already have a bachelor's degree, the title must not be older than the 2020-2021 academic year. The deadline to apply is the 31st of May 2023. What do you need to apply? It is pretty easy, actually. So you will need to present the most recent academic transcript showing the course titles and your GPA. Please note that this document must be issued in English or alternatively translated into Italian. Then the language certificate of the English proficiency, basically, we need you to have at least a B2 level. Speaking about the accepted certification, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, but also the Duolingo certification, and the details of the lecturer that you will choose to provide a letter of reference. In fact, on our application form, we do not request the students to apply using a letter of reference or a motivation letter. We just need you to include the name, last name, and email address of a professor that can vouch for you in case admissions committed when needed. About the admission procedure for the master's degree students, we also have the direct admission routes. This is open to those students who either have a GMAT or a GRE, or those who will take it by July 2023. Of course, for those students whose title is older than the academic year 2020-2021, it is possible to take a GMAT, NGR, or GRE and be entitled to the direct admission. Once again, the deadline to apply is May 31st. The scores required to complete the application form with the direct admission is either a GMAT with a minimum score of 550 or a GRE which has the score of at least 145 in both sections. Just for the master's degree of management, the scores required are 600 for the GMAT and 150 for the GRE. The last topic, which is the one of scholarships. Several scholarships are awarded to the international students every year. These scholarships are merit-based, so based on the evaluation made by the admissions committee. And therefore, the scholarships are offered to the best candidates. This year, approximately over 100 scholarships will be granted between full and partial offers. What do you need to do in order to be eligible? You just need to apply because the students will be evaluated at the same time for the seat in the course of their choice and for the scholarship. For the truly excellent candidates, of course, the committee may offer, in addition to the full scholarship, free room in our dorms and or the board in our canteen or cafeteria at the campus. Thank you for your attention. This is a QR code for those interested in requiring more information and the international orientation email address. We hope to see you on campus next year, and we hope to keep in touch with you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sara. Wonderful. I'm sure everybody watching today in their respective countries, whatever language they're watching that in, will agree that was a really insightful session. So a huge thank you for doing that and taking part. And we're now going to engage in a live Q&A. So we've had some questions come in from our side, actually, in addition to some of the questions that were prepared before. So I want to talk about Italy as a whole, studying in Italy, because some people can see it as a wonderful place to live. It could be expensive. It could be, you know, particularly in Rome with the whole Catholic background to it. What type of student population do you have in Rome specifically? Is there a huge amount of nationalities in the country, in the city in particular?
Yes, Rome is actually a true melting pot of different nationalities and countries. We have a population coming from, I think, all over the world, like literally. We have citizens from the US, from India, Japan, China, and I could go on with mentioning all the countries in the world, like true. This is true. So it is a city that also for its tradition and vocation, like in the history, has always welcomed everyone, no matter their country of citizenship. So Rome is the ideal home for those interested in living in the metropolis, which is always alive at any time of the day and night too. It is a city full of opportunities, not only like working opportunities and studying opportunities, but also in terms of hobbies and free times. Of course, the mentioning the museums and the art is the most obvious thing, because Rome is a living museum itself, but it's also full of interest like cinema. Every year, the city hosts the cinema festival during the fall season. Then also theater. Pretty much every neighborhood has a theater where different kind of shows go on. And then, of course, sports events. So let's say that for any kind of interest, Rome as an answer. So anything you want to do, just go around, just go out, and you will find something.
And I suppose, you know, Italy isn't the size of the United States of America and Germany. You know, you're never far away from other key cultural cities. You know, Milan probably been the furthest away, but you've got the likes of Turin, Naples, Bologna, Florence, just to think of a few. They're never far away. I'd imagine, what is it, 2 to 3 hours on a train, perhaps?
Yeah, exactly. Probably the furthest one is Turin, but it's around 4 hours of train. So it is absolutely
Yeah.
reachable. It is a fair amount of hours.
Which is, I suppose, if you live in countries such as Germany, United States, Canada, all these other major cities,
Yeah,
that's nothing. 4 hours is nothing. So,
yeah.
okay, excellent. The next question I would have is, what kind of activities can students expect when they're on campus? Obviously,
hmm
you've just talked about there what it's like outside of university,
hmm
living in the city and in the country. Within the university, how do you help students bed in and feel welcomed when they first join?
hmm Okay, so thank you for the question, first of all. The university actually offers several activities. We start all the activities with the Freshers Week. This is an introductory week which takes place during the second week of September when the lectures start. During this week, the students actually will know what the university offers because the campus is ready to welcome them. So once they get in, we have the representatives of our sport teams ready to explain to them what kind of activities they can do, the theater club, the music club, the choir as well. But we also have student clubs, like divided into topics or activities. For example, we have the club for the law students, which is conducted like as it was a company itself. So it actually teaches something the students while having fun. Um, but we also have the possibility of conducting cultural activities around the city, like they can go around museums, they can do volunteering as well. One of the activities that has the most success, I think, it's the sports teams. Lewis has its own facilities which are located near the campus, and the students are free to play any sport that they like. They can play basketball, football, tennis, dance, yoga, rowing, rugby, anything. Not only at like basic level just to have fun and get fit or keep fit, but also at a professional level. In fact, Louis sports team also prepares its students for the Olympic Games. Just to mention, for example, Tamberi, which is one of the student athletes of Louis University that won actually the Olympic Games last year, or Sofia Goggia, or basically we have a long list of Olympic and Paralympic champions among our athletes. So it is always nice to see that we have actually a very good combination between the didactical activities and the fun stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because so many times people think they go to university and they have to give that up. You know, they have to make a choice between academic and their leisure time, sport time, and they don't. You can combine it. It's great to hear that. Talk to me a bit about the. We're going to move towards the actual courses now and the academic side of things. What makes you different from a learning platform? So the way your courses are taught, are they predominantly face to face? Do you offer online divisions and online opportunities?
So, regarding the formula, it is mostly on campus. Although some professor still have their lectures online. Of course, it's the student's choice to decide if they would like to attend the course or not, because the attendance is always strongly recommended. But in case they have any personal or professional needs, they just need to communicate it to the student office, and they just can also not attend the courses. Uh, about the Lewis learning experience, as I was mentioning at the beginning of the presentation, the university always tries to keep itself up to date with the challenges that the world presents, moving on. So the university decided to update its teaching method. We called it the inquiry-based method of teaching and learning. This means that the students are always challenged into questioning themselves when they are in class, to like be able to frame the topics that they are studying. And of course, this helps them developing their problem solving skill and the knowledge skills as well. So we always try to maintain the scientific approach. So the learning experience starts from observing and understanding exactly what you're talking about, like examine. Then you just try to examine from a research point of view the topic that you are studying at the lectures, and then inquire yourself, like question yourself about new solution, new perspectives, and then of course there's always the practical approach. Luis has a very good balance between faculty in terms of academic professors, like research professors, and professorial practice. So they always get the best of both worlds in a sense. So they can, of course, study in a scientific way, but also they have the feedback of someone who is experienced in the business world or in the political science world and so on. So they have a constant, I'd say, comparison between the two approaches.
So, and all your courses, most of them taught in English. Many of the world's top jobs now require maybe not even one language, and maybe one language sometimes. So most of them taught in English. Are they, with an opportunity to be taught in Italian if you're from the country?
Well, we of course have courses taught in Italian, but the majority of them, I think, is in English now. Not only because this is a decision from the university in order to teach the students to be international, but also because the students are requiring this transition. So they are looking for English taught courses because they know that once they will be graduated, they will need to learn English and they will need to use it every day. So they just go straight to the English taught courses.
Yeah, and it's really important to point out as well that if you go to any business within Rome, within Italy, within the world, they'll all be speaking English.
Yeah.
Their English will be very good. Because of that, then what is the English speaking requirement, and what are the tests such as IELTS and Duolingo that you accept?
So we require the students to have at least a B2 level. So regarding the category, like OVIALS, the academic or the general, we accept both of them. So we do not make any difference. What is important is the score. If it's at least a B2, then it's going to be fine. About the Duolingo, we require at least 90 in order to be accepted.
Okay. And from just finally, from a student's perspective, if you're watching this, they want to apply, how long can they expect the process to take? So from the very start, from applying for a visa to then finding accommodation, how long can they expect that process to take?
The selection is actually rolling. So they can apply in any moment between now and May 31st. The peculiarity is that the selection is divided into rounds. So this allows us to give the students a very quick feedback. So for those students, for example, applying after the 1st of December, in 1 month, they will get their outcome. And 1 month after getting the outcome, they can just enroll. So they can obtain, of course, their invitation letter, for example, and start preparing for their arrival in September. So the process is actually easy and practical, I'd say. We do not want the students to get lost in the bureaucracy or like get anxious with waiting their outcome. So we try to be as fast as possible.
For sure. Sara, thank you for your time. It's been absolutely wonderful catching up with you. Hopefully we can do this again next year. But for now, a huge thank you. You've been speaking to Sara at Libera University, who is one of the coordinators in the international division. So Sara, for now, a huge thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you. For those of you that have joined and are interested in one of the £500 bursaries that we offer, any student watching this webinar from anywhere around the world looking to study any course can apply. So head over to our website. £500 is up for grabs. We issue them out August, September 2023. So head over, and it does not conflict with any other funding that you may have applied for. But for now, a huge thank you to everybody that's watched. Sara, everyone behind the scenes at Luis, a huge thank you. And we look forward to seeing you all for the next webinar, which is next week with IMT Lille Dahl with an engineering special. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.